Get on in here. Let's talk all things 90 Day Fiancé, Season 12, Episode 5, Something Old, Something New. Y'all, let's get into tonight's episode, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Televised. It's time for Auntie Televised. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Televised. I couldn't even wait for tomorrow. Hey, everybody. And this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have stuck by my side for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Y'all, I could not even wait. I was like, why wait for tomorrow when you can get it done today? Y'all, let's talk about this crazy episode of 90 Day Fiancé that we just set our butts up here and watched. Oh my God. If I had to rate this episode, I would rate this episode a 4-star episode. Now, once they get this swinging, whoop banging, and all of that in the street, then it's probably going to be a 5, and it look like we're going to be going to that level, okay? But I'm gonna give this a 4-star. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what y'all would give this freaking episode that we set our butts up here and watch tonight. Let me bring up these couples. So the first couple that I want to talk about is Marissa and Edward. Edward is at home, honey. She is picked him up from the episode. From the airport. Let y'all see, I'm on the hype. She picked him up right from the airport and everything, right? And so now it is time for him to see where he is going to be living. Now let's remember he is coming from basically nothing, okay, according to the two of them. So he rolls up, she's rolling down the little tree-lined street, beautiful homes sitting up on the hill, $1,000,000 homes and everything. And he rolling up in that camp like, whoa, this is beautiful. These houses are big, all that kind of stuff, right? And so, they get up to the house and everything, and they go in, and he is like on whoa status, okay? He on whoa status, looking at the homes. He can't believe what he's looking at. He's going to be living in this place, right? And so they get all into, into the house. And, for me, well, no, I can't say that. I got a big house too, right? But I don't have a house that's that big. I don't have $1,000,000 home. Okay, but I got a nice little house. Okay, but anyway, so he's rolling up in there. The house is dated to me. The furniture's dated. The house is dated, and all that kind of jazz, right? And so, of course, now he's got to, fit in. He got to get in where he fit in this house. And so, she's taking him from room to room, and he's looking at it. Like I said, the house is very dated to me, especially the furniture and the furnishings and the design of it. Like it's dated like a but anyway, so this is going to be a major adjustment for him. Of course, the boys are not there and all of that kind of stuff. And so she starts telling him what the rules are in the house, what he can and cannot do, what's a privilege to him and what's not a privilege to him. And I was like, whoa, we on whoa status with this privilege stuff, right? Because I understand what she's saying, but the way it's coming out of her mouth is like it's on whoa status with me. Anyway, he's admiring everything. They get up to the bedroom and all that kind of stuff. She tells him, she's got a his and hers closet, but the hers, is on both sides. She said that he can use two of the rods in the room. And mind you, these are not the whole rods, these are the half rods. And then the rest of the closet is still hers. But you know what? He trying to go with the motion, go with the flow, and all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things about her that she has not told him yet. So anyway, they go on downtown and, through the house and stuff. And she is just talking a whole bunch of hogwash. So it's time for them to go to bed. She tells him that the bathroom has two showers. He is able to use the one that's on the corner lot, right? He can use the shower on the corner lot, but he can't use the one that she's with. He said, well, why can't we take a shower together? And she was like, because somebody's always cold, right? And I'm not going to be the one that's cold. She's basically letting him know I run this camp and all of that kind of stuff, right? And I'm telling you right now, I think that this is going to be, some war. She said, you privileged enough to even use this bathroom because I didn't even let my former husband use it, right? I think his name is Mike. Y'all let me know because Mike is fine. But anyway, so, she's saying that this is a privilege for you to even be up in my bathroom. It's just the way that it's coming off. And I think that, she comes from, according to her ex-husband, she's coming from a well-to-do family and everything, right? A family of privilege. I don't know how they made their money and stuff like that. I'm kind of side-eyeing and waiting to find out what Sarcasm is going to say about what kind of family she come from, who her family is. But it's coming off like, I'm gonna wait to hold it, but I'm telling you right now, it's not coming off right. And so, he gets in the shower, she gets in the shower, and so he's like, you want to see my thing, right? So he had already said that he had gotten himself circumcised, and right now he's ready to be an American, okay? And I don't know what circumcision or non-circumcision got to do with that, but that makes him feel like he is American, okay? I mean, it is what it is. And so, the two of them are, doing their thing. And he said, you want to see it? She said, yeah. So she said it looked good and all of that kind of stuff. They go into the bedroom, and the bedroom the furniture is so dated. I don't know if it's antique or what kind of feeling she's trying to come off with. But I was like, all this money in your furnishing just looks like, something from the 60s, like 1967, somewhere around in there. I was like, it's just so dated and it's dull. The pictures on the wall ain't cute. I mean, it's just an old, but for him, it's really nice, right? So the two of them, lay up in the bed, they do what they do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. And so they get up in the morning and everything, and they're making the bed, and she, wants the bed to be a particular way. I can understand because I be, when I am not tired, I make it look like it's basically a showroom. Okay, because that's just the feel that I want to feel when I come home. I want it to be white. Like my whole bedroom is white and black, right? And I have like gray walls, and I love it, right? I love the showroomish looking in there, right? I want it to be fancy and not fancy at the same time. But anyway, so they doing their thing. She says, okay, come on, we're going to, drink some protein, and I'm going to go out here on my walk. So we find out that not only does she work at the at the bridal shop, but she also does some type of training and fitness. So she says she's going to go out there and speed walk. He can barely keep up with her. And so he says, let's take a break. So they take a break and they start talking about the reality of him about to meet, the husband. And, she was like, I just don't want it to be, no issues or nothing like that. I want you to respect him and stuff like that. So Edward is like, I mean, okay. And so, they're going to be incorporating these boys. So Edward goes into a conversation where he talks about how he wants kids of his own. And this is a conversation that the two of them have had. Now, she said that, she's not willing to be pregnant again. and give him any more kids. And I can understand that, right? Anybody can understand that when you get to be a certain age, you just don't want to be going back through diapers and diaper bags and doctor's appointments and all of that kind of stuff, right? So understood. He said that he had to make a decision on whether or not this was something that he was going to do, whether he was going to be with this older woman and help her take care of her two kids, or whether or not he wanted to end the relationship and be with someone who would be able to possibly bring kids into his life. And that's completely understandable. And so he said, me being here shows what my decision was. I decided that I'd rather be with her than to not be with her. And so, she talks about, I just don't want it to be no issues between, you and Mike. Y'all, is his name Mike? I don't want it to be no issues between y'all when it come down to these boys. And so the next thing you know, he's, having a conversation with Mike. So the next thing you know, the homeboy comes over. It's time for the boys to come home. And they having a conversation. And Mike is being straight up with him. He was glad that he was there. He, tried his best to welcome Edward, but he let him know, look, I'm telling you right now, I may not have been a good husband, but I'm damn sure a father. And if you and Miss Marissa get into an argument and you get to throwing stuff around up in this camp and pushing stuff off the table and woo banging and all of that kind of stuff, if my boys call me on that phone and say, Dad, Edward is up in here throwing stuff around. He said, I'm coming up here. He said, I ain't knocking on the door. I'm not ringing the bell. I'm coming blazing. I'm coming wise. I'm dropping it like it's hot. I'm coming up in here like a maniac because one thing I'm not going to do is play with you about my kids. So Edward is like, oh, okay, he a man, but I'm a man too. He want to act like, he's hard and everything, and he the only one that can fight. I can fight too. Let me tell you, this is not what he's trying to communicate to you, young blood. Young blood, you need to pay attention. What he is saying is, I'm not going to play when it comes down to my children. I don't want my children's mental well-being to be jacked up right now. Peaceful environment, and they living in great homes and all that. And I don't want that affected by your immaturity or Marissa's immaturity or y'all inability to keep y'all arguments and stuff out of the ear and the sight of the kids. That's all he was trying to tell him. But Edward sees it as, okay, we bumping chests, right? That's not what this is. In my opinion, y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the comment section. But I'm telling you right now, this is not what he's trying to tell him. But he trying to sun me. I did not see him being that way. He ended up calming down and coming, chilling out a little bit. And he basically told him, I was in this relationship with her. I was trying to start a business. The business, didn't go as planned. He said, I'm still working to build the business up. And he said, she comes from a wealthy family. And they made me feel like I wasn't. They made me feel, like I was not deserving. They put me in my place. Basically, they sunned me. And so he is just telling him, look, that may be one of the issues that you may deal with this family, because I was treated very poorly by the family, and I was always put in my place, and they let me know in no uncertain terms that I'm nothing. She's the one with the money. She's the one with the family prestige and the family money, and just be aware that you're gonna have to stand up on your own and know who you are as a man. But he gonna sit up there and say that the daggone man is against him, and he trying to give him bad advice, and he trying to son him, and he a man on his. I was getting right. You missed the whole point, young blood, which means you and Marissa gonna have issues. He was already talking about how Marissa has been sunning him and treating him as if, she got to tell him everything and she kind of bossy and all of that. You already there. And you haven't even met the in-laws yet. But you thinking that Mike is trying to tell you this to scare you, to knock you down the peg. No, he's telling you this is what I went through, and this is something that you need to be aware of that you may go through too. But no, he don't want to hear that bull. Okay, he doesn't want to hear it at all. And he's going to find out, and he's going to find out the in hard way because you don't want to listen and you think that this is about a competition. Look, he's done with her. He does not want Marissa. He's just being a father and letting you know, don't let nothing pop off down here that's around with my sons. That's it. That's all. But you thinking this is a competition and some maybe somewhere, somehow, he still wants Marissa. He don't want Marissa. And Marissa don't want him. And it is just point blank. Is there some in my nose? Okay. I thought it was some in my nose because I don't be playing that dumb stuff. But I was like, okay. You don't want to listen? You're going to find out the daggone hard way. Catie and Joseph. So Catie and Joseph are at the hotel and they're about to leave now to go into the apartment that she basically has never been in. She's never done an inspection of the apartment. She knows where it is. She says she saw a half video of the apartment. And so Joseph is going with her. Joseph has already put money down on this apartment with her. Now, how he did that, I don't know. But he has already made a 12-month investment in this apartment. And so, they are checking out the hotel and she's in the bathroom and everything, doing what she do with the whoop whoop and the boo boo boo. Now, of course, when we were introduced to her, she was saying she had OCD. This is something more than OCD, in my humble opinion. But okay, let's go with it because she is dirty. And I'm telling you right now, y'all, and I know some people have pushed back in the comment section, but I'm telling you, OCD make you clean up like I'm cleaning up tonight. Ever since I got home, I ended up going somewhere today, and ever since I got home, I gave myself enough time to eat, and I been just cleaning. That's what OCD make you do. It does make you anal. There are times when I'm watching something come right, like I told y'all, my past. I'll flip it, make sure I got my ID on me. Like it's stuff like that. Like my wallet. I want to make sure, I got my wallet. So they are like little sound, but the stuff that she's doing, she's filthy. She's living foul and living filthy. And I just don't see that going along with OCD. And then there's some ticks that she's doing. It's going to end up coming out in the end like everything else. It's going to come out in the wash. But so she has both of them looking under the bed to see whether or not he left anything, right? Or if it's anything under the bed. And so he's on one side of the bed. She's on the other side of the bed with a flashlight downtown on their knees and on their belly. There's nothing underneath the bed. But then I'm looking. Okay, calm down, auntie. So she said, did you see anything? And he was like, no. She said, can you check again? He said, I already checked. Right. So he said, I'm not going to give into that. And when you're dealing with somebody like that, you can't give into it. Most of the time I suffer through my stuff in silence. Right. As far as, cleaning and stuff just being, in a particular way and stuff like, okay, I got to have this over here. And then this got to be over here. And don't move this from right here. Because if you move this from right here, then I'm not going to understand that you moved it from right there. And so then we're going to have a damn issue. Anyway, she goes up underneath the other table. She finds a quarter, and she, of the two of them checking out. And I'm looking at the bags. Ain't nothing in order. Nothing is folded correctly. It's a whole bunch of trash bags, looking stuff that's going on. The hallway is a mess. Her life is a whole entire mess. I'm sorry. I can't. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. Everything is what is in, okay, is it just me? I'm not buying this, y'all. This girl is a mess. There's some other things, in my opinion, that's going on with her. And I know people have their opinions, but when you live that real life, okay, can't nobody tell you. And I guess everybody have a different. Mine is slight, right? I don't have a big problem with it, but I got enough to know, and everybody around me got enough to know that I want stuff to be in a particular place. I'm wiping stuff down and doing all that kind of stuff. And then there's certain things that I'm double checking to make sure I got. So I know mine is mild. But mine don't make me want to kiss people, hump up on the back of people. Mine don't make me do nothing like that. This is some other shit that's going on with her. But anyway, so they go down, they're going to go and see the apartment and everything. They get in the car and she has gas. And instead of her getting out of the car or rolling down the windows or rolling his window down, she poops. And she thinks that is cute. I think that's the nastiest thing that you could ever do to somebody, make them smell the innards of your daggone gut. Don't nobody want to smell your small and large intestines sitting up in a car with all the windows up and you think it's cute. Ain't nothing cute about it. Then she driving, right? They're going over to the apartment. She driving over to the apartment and she gonna sit up there and say, yeah, I called such and such and such and such and asked her, was I inappropriate last night with anybody? And nothing happened or anything like that. But my girlfriend did tell me, such and such did tell me that I was trying to kiss everybody in the mouth. Get the out of here with that. Get out of here with that mess. I'm so sick of her daggone butt. I don't know what to do with her. You got somebody that's going to tell you, you sat there and tried to kiss everybody in the mouth and everybody said no. And he was like, that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful for you to do something like that. She don't think it's disrespectful. I think she does it on purpose just to see, right? I think she's so much insecure about who she is and her relationship with him that she throws out there, right, to try to get a reaction out of him. She gonna go around and lose him because he tired of that mess. And it is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Oh, nasty sound. So they get to the apartment there and everything. And the apartment seems like a half decent apartment. It's one of those, excuse me, one of them city style type of things, right? With this concrete floors and stuff like that. And she's standing all up in the window waving at people. Ooh, oh my God, I could never have her as my neighbor. I'd be calling the popo on her every time I got a chance. They would have to move me. But the thing about it is that the apartment that they live in, they live like, I guess, above the garage. And every time the garage is going up and making a beeping noise, they hearing that like a smoke detector that's going off over and over and over and over again. Ain't no way in the world I'd have been able to sleep in it. If I had to slept, it probably would have been 3-4 o'clock in the morning, honey, just out of exhaustion. They would have had to move me out that apartment because ain't no way in the world I'm gonna sit there and let a garage keep beeping in my ear and I'm paying $1,000 a month or more. Oh, hell no. We ain't got this to do. Straight up, I'm calling everybody. I'm going down to the court. I'm holding my rent. I'm doing everything because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to live in no daggone environment where I can't even sleep up in them. Okay. So anyway, they go into the bedroom and they start unloading her stuff. And I'm like I said, she got stuff on a like on one of them little hotel type of cars, and she got everywhere. It's not packed up, it ain't folded up, it's not organized, nothing is going on with the stuff. And I'm thinking, how in the is she sitting up here saying that she got OCD? And yeah, I'm going back there again. And all her stuff is just thrown around. I ain't never seen nobody like that anyway. So she gets the mattress out, and the mattress is filthy. And he said it's filthy, it stink, and everything. And it's a twin bed. He says that, where he's from, they call it a single. And then they go to a double, and I guess a queen and a king. But here we say twin. And then they got extra large twins, because that's what I had to buy my daughter with her first year in college, was an extra large twin. And then after that, and the thing is filthy, dirty, nasty. She gonna tell him, don't look at the stains on it. First of all, if you can't afford to buy you a twin, buy you one of those daggone covers that goes over it, that you zip the up and you lock that joint down, okay? You lock it down. You take it, you clean it real good because the joint is foul. If it's stinking, it has so many stains on it. Ain't no way in the world I would have been able to sleep on that bed. But if she had taken one of them little zip things that you put around there and then put a mattress cover on top of that, I'm just like, you just nasty for no fucking reason. You nasty with your mouth. You're nasty with your attitude. You're nasty with everything. You act like you're oblivious and you stupid and you not. You playing with yourself. So next thing you know, she pulls this box out and it's one of them daggone, utility things that you take care of yourself with. And then she's talking about the thing is clean and all of that, and she ain't use it. And he said it had gummy. Oh my God. When you, I mean, that's the kind of stuff to make you gag and just throw up all over the floor. She's just nasty all a way around. And I just was like, I don't have this to do with this daggone girl with her ways. And she's nasty on top of being that. Girl, I don't have this to do at all. Get out of my face with this book. The next couple that I want to talk about, where they at? Mallorie and Rasit. So of course, they home and everything, right? And they coming in the house, and her little friend Brady, I think that's his name, ended up keeping the dogs and stuff, gave her like a dog monitor. So Brady is coming over to the house, right? Because Brady is bringing her the stuff back. Now, she said that when she had a car accident and all of that, Brady was the one who was by her bedside. Brady was the one that had her back in all of this, right? But he is over here insecure because he got to make the money so he can send the money home. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all think. That's my opinion. I think he coming over here for the simple fact he gonna get married to her. He gonna stay the 90 days. He gonna get married to her, and then he gonna find him another good job, and then he gonna be sending that money back to his parents, and she gonna be standing out there with all her little, what she call them, redneck friends. I don't think that's stuff that they be talking about. Like the sign that they had up there on the daggone thing, I just was like, I ain't even gonna say what the sign is. Y'all can say it in the comments. But I was like, this stuff is not cute to me, and I don't like this kind of stuff. Anyway, so she, has Brady come over, and then he's standing up there. He mad. He don't like the fact that Brady in there. He talking about he the man of the house. Bitch, till you start paying bills up in this, until you start paying bills up in here, you need to sit down and shut the up. You need to practice the art of that. As a matter of fact, you need to study it in a college curricula. Okay? Because what you're not gonna do is sit up in my daggone house and tell my friends who sat there and was by my side that whole time that you my man. You may be my man, but you don't run nothing, and it's my friend. And I be got. And if you think you're going to come up in here, or he's going to come in here and you're going to disrespect him in any way, I'm not going to hold my tongue. I ain't going to bite my tongue. I'm not going to sit up there and try to be, civil about it. This was by my side when I needed help, and he was the only one that was there. So guess what? If you got anything you need to say about this, you need to say it in your pillow. So Brady come through the house. She's thanking Brady for the monitor and everything. So, she can monitor the dogs and stuff. And he can monitor the dogs, and the dogs is okay. And then he's sitting up there, Brady goes to shake his hand, and then Rasit don't want to shake his hand. If you don't break his arm by the time you get connect with his hand. How in the world you fresh from the airport, and this is how you acting up in my house? He would be going back home. I'm going to tell you that right now. He would be going back the home. But she don't see it. Not yet. But after a while, she going to be good and tired of his behind. And she going to either have to lay the law down or send him back home. Because I don't think he's over here with the good intentions anyway. So anyway, they get prepared to go over to, the little friend's house, right? They having this little party and everything. And, it's like a little theme party of everybody supposed to be, like dressed up in their American red, white, and blue, and they're gonna be drinking beers and doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna say the word, but that's what they trying to do. So they invite him over there and everything, and they greeting him, and he just trying to be Americanized, and they telling him to say "roll tide" and all of that kind of stuff. She had went to the store with him, and our dad went to the down to the city in Alabama to go and get some coffee, and it was like a deserted city, child, somewhere up in space. And she was like, well, people in Alabama don't come out, when it's raining and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, they go to the house, and everybody there, they waiting on them and stuff. And so they, dressed up in, just traditional, um, and so, they got the overalls on with no shirt and stuff like that. And they got the red, white, and blue. Um, so they take him in the house. They got some clothes for him. And, he has this, like red, white, and blue do-rag, tie on his head, and then they put some hair on the back of it. And I can't remember what kind of shirt he had on or whatever, but they was drinking beers, busting beers and cans in half and drinking out the beer and all that kind of stuff. And so, they just having themselves a good time. I guess that's what they call a good time. I would not have never went to no like that. So anyway, Brady rose up, and so, Brady, he gave them some kind of drink, and they drunk it. He made some kind of concoction, and they said it tasted like licorice, so they wasn't into it. So Brady walks up with two red cups. So Brady walks up, because I love me a good red cup, honey. And anybody that know me know I love me a good red cup. But anyway, so Brady walks up with two red cups and give him some whiskey. And so, Rasit don't want to take the whiskey from him, because he don't like Brady no way, right? And so he takes it. He says it's just regular old whiskey or whatever, right? So Brady went on about his business and stuff. He went to his truck, and so Rasit decides he goes and tells her that I'm gonna go over here and have a conversation with him. So he walks up on Brady, and Brady had his the back of his truck down, and he sat up on his truck, and Brady was like, that's disrespectful from where I come from. Oh, his name is Brandon? Now, somebody told me I was wrong on something the other day. I didn't think his name was Brandon. Is it Brandon or Brady? Because I could have sworn I saw Brady. Am I wrong? Let me ask ChatGPT. Because somebody told me the other day when I was doing the review that I had the names wrong. Come to find out they had the names wrong. Okay. She called him Brady. Oh, she said Rasit calls him Brady. Yeah, because that's what they be putting up on the screen, Brady. But I'm gonna go ahead on with the Brandon. I'll check it later on. I'm on a roll. I said that's why I'm be looking at comments, because I be on a roll. Anyway, so Brandon sat on the back of his truck, and he was like, where I'm from, that's disrespectful, okay? What you say, boo? What you saying, Nathan? Hey, boo. Okay, absolutely, because that means that she birds of a feather, birds of a feather, Nathan. Okay. I be tired on it too. That's why you notice it's a whole lot of stuff that I'm not saying, right? Because I'm not gonna feed into the books. Okay. Thank you so much, Nathan. Hey, boo. So then, anyway, he said, so he was like, that's disrespectful from where I come from, and so he gonna sit up there and tell him I got a problem with you. So Brady don't give a. Brady said if he want to come over here and play Billy Badass, he said he gonna find out who bad around here. Okay, they about to Michael Jackson. Who's bad? Okay. All right, it's supposed to be a. Okay. Oh, my daughter is sleeping. I'm banging on the floor. Let me tell you something. He can play with Brandon Brady or whoever he is. If he want to, he is about 5 minutes up on him. Because did y'all see how he rushed up there with them two red cops? And he sitting up on the back of his truck. He said, you ask a man to sit on his truck. You don't just come and sit on somebody's daggone truck. And you know what? That's right, because I don't have a truck, but I got a car, and you don't sit on the hood of my car, the front nor the back, right? Unless I invite you to do that. Unless we're at a tailgating party, and that's what we doing, and I invite you over there. Other than that, don't sit on my right. And so it's about to be a showdown and a hoedown, okay? And I'm here for it. The next couple that I want to talk about, child, is daggone Asia and Maxwell. So Maxwell is at home with child with his. So okay, wait a minute. So Asia is deciding that she's going to go to Nigeria, right? She got to make a decision about what's going on and what the two of them going to do. Whether or not they're going to apply again for the K1 visa, or whether or not they're going to get married up downtown in Nigeria. So she is making a decision to go to Nigeria to go and see her man. And she's taking her mother with her. Let me tell you, her mother look better than she do. Now they can upgrade mama wig. Now I'm not saying that the wig choice is the best. But that's a beautiful woman, all downtown to the face. She looks good. But anyway, Asia is taking her mother over there to go and see Maxwell. And it just is what it is. She listened to the prophet, and she decided that that's what she's gonna do. Of course, we all know, okay, that she girl bye. So anyway, they get to the airport, and of course, y'all know she has showed us all this skincare and stuff like that she wanted, and this hair and all of that. She just needs to upgrade her man. Honey, let me tell you something. When you force an upgrade on a man, you're gonna be upgrading him for somebody else's ass. That's exactly what you're gonna be doing. But anyway, I digress, because I don't know what I'm talking about when I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we get to meet him. We get to meet his family, and his mother was like, "I just pray that she be your peace, that she come over here with the peace, because it's basically bossy, and she thinks she the queen over here. Let's see whether or not she gonna be your queen, or she gonna be your queen that's gonna send you straight to. Okay, is she gonna be your Jezebel? What's she gonna be? This girl is trying to improve him, and trying to not she is not accepting him the way that he is. She's saying that these are improvements. But I see, but you the one that's going over there in 150 degrees with a plastic wig on. Like, I'm not getting it, because this is not a weave. This is a straight up wig. I'm just waiting for it to slide to the back or slide on the side. Like, she has things that she needs to improve too. Like, look at her stomach. Her stomach ain't flat. Her stomach is round. His stomach is flat on this picture. This picture right here. His stomach, God dang it, ain't gonna let me get over there. His stomach is flat. Her stomach is round. It's just as round as her butt. It's just a little smidget higher. Girl, we all got stuff that we got to work on, and things that we can work on. Now, I understand, if you want to upgrade your man, and maybe he did have some skin issues and stuff like that, but the stuff that she's doing is overboard and is not done in love. Because love doesn't make you feel bad about yourself. Love doesn't mean that you got to come over there with 50 products. That's not love. That's controlling. That's not accepting somebody. That's trying to make somebody acceptable for who? Are you trying to make him acceptable for that little backwoods church you go to? Anyway, she done got on my damn nerve, and I'm sure that y'all can tell she done got on my damn nerve. And so, he was talking about all the things that she wants to do. He said even when he was laying in bed, she was doing something with his hair. I said, that's just absolutely unacceptable. Anyway, he said that now he has to feel like he has to fix himself up for her. He's not doing it because she's making him feel good about himself. He's worried about, doing all of this stuff, right? So that she can still be attracted to him, so he can come to America. But let her come over here and do that, right? Because then let me tell you something, honey. It's going to be some chicks of all race, colors, and creed that's going to be interested in taking him just the way he is. You have to accept people for the way that they are. Now, yes, in love, you can, like I said, through love and in love, you can make suggestions to people, but to be bringing up, let me see. So she sees him at the airport, she jump up on him. She can't even get her legs up around him good. That's because you need to work on your stomach. You need to get some stomach muscles, okay? You ain't even had no kids and you got your stomach sitting out there like that. So, girl, let's not even go there, okay? We just not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there about that Wet and Wild lipstick that you look like you wearing too. You need to step your game up, honey. I mean, at least the least you could do is start buying Mac. Okay, but anyway, that's the thing about it. When you start criticizing somebody, somebody got to criticize them for you too. Okay, with that Party City wig on. She gonna try to run up there in his arms and put her legs around him, and she's so insecure about that junk, all that junk in her trunk. I got a whole lot of junk in my trunk, and I ain't insecure about it. But anyway, she couldn't even get up on him and everything. And he was like, "Don't I look big?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's what you need to look. But you looking big too, honey." But anyway, I digress because I ain't trying to joan on the girl or nothing like that, right? Because I got stuff about myself I got to fix too. But I ain't trying to fix nobody else, and I'm doing it, in an insulting way while I'm doing it. Anyway, so, they downtown, and they get ready to go to the house and everything. And her mother is just as sweet as she could be. But I think the mother got some nastiness to her too. So we're going to see whether or not the mother is nasty or whether or not, the mother is good to go solo and everything. Last but not least, this daggone Mido. He made me want to jump through the screen. He's so nasty and disrespectful to this lady. And she's so daggone stupid and so what, you ain't had sex in 20 years. If you don't get a good partner, it's overrated anyway. The You mean to tell me you gonna sacrifice your dignity over this piece of right here? So of course the two of them get up in the morning, both of them, neither one of them done slept well. That's because they both went to bed with an attitude. Because they ain't doing nothing in the bed anyway, so they ain't missing nothing. They both had an attitude with each other. So they get up in the morning and she like, let's go head on and go and get some coffee and everything, so we can just, talk about some shit. So they go down to the coffee cafe. Okay, y'all, I'm going around. I ain't gonna get all the little simple stuff. I mean, all the other little stuff. We just gonna talk about the main stuff. We're gonna hit it and quit it out this month, okay? Because he a raggedy piece of old. She is feeling stepped on and walked on. And that's exactly how she should be feeling because that is exactly what he's doing, walking on top of her. So then so they get down to the coffee shop. He orders, she orders, they go and sit down. He's still mad because he told the story that he told her. Okay, anyway, I ain't going through that. So they sit down and she was like, okay, let's talk about the elephant that's up in this room. Shall we? Let's do it. So he nasty off the break because he feel like she out of her place. As a woman, she under his feet. She needs to be obedient and submissive and shut up. He see where he from. Women are really submitted to their men. They know their place and she needs to learn. Learn what? I hate when these people come over here and they come over with the wrong intentions. I'm not talking about people who legitimately come over here for the right reasons. I'm talking about a motherfucker like him. So don't get it twisted about what I'm saying. When you come over here and me talk about how much you sacrificed at home, take your ass back home to all that you have sacrificed. Don't let me stop you, and don't let me hinder you from being the best you that you could have been. You can take your coat, your hat, your shoes, and your suitcase and get up out of here. Matter of fact, you can take your stuff home in a daggone grocery bag. I don't give a. She's sitting up there talking to him and trying to tell him, you got mad at me because I was supposed to be taking a video and I took a picture. He talk about how his I can't even get this shit. He's talking about how serious his career is. She said, "Can I not make a mistake?" But his problem is she didn't say she was sorry. Now, could she? Should she say she's sorry? Has she not apologized to him? He's saying that she took her phone and threw it in his face. She said, "No, I didn't. I threw it on your lap." Now, come on, mama. Come on, mama. You don't need it, Debbie. You're too old to be throwing stuff across the room. Like, now, a kid's attitude about this is wrong, but you too damn old to be throwing anything. Now, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to agree with him on that. You don't need to be throwing anything. But see, you so frustrated because you have already realized that you are nothing but a stepping stone for him. His intention is to be a Hollywood star. He told her last week, "I ain't come here to play. I'm on business. I'm standing on business. I'm over here to make a career to be in Hollywood. And you or nothing else are going to stop me." And then he makes a threat and says he can pack his stuff up and go. What are you waiting on? Debbie now realizes it is what it is. She said she ain't throw nothing at him. He said his career and he needs to get those pictures for his. She said, "I don't want to be, I don't know if I'm offend you by this, but I don't want to be your super fan." He said, "Ain't nothing wrong with you being my super fan. You should be happy that I got a dream. You should be happy that I got a dream to be in Hollywood and I'm going to use you to get it." She said, I just want to be married and happy." This 90-Day Fiancé season 12, is going to be the most acting your ass ever going to do. Because what you not going to do is use me to get to Hollywood. We out having a good time on the town, and every minute you taking pictures like a old. I mean, your whole body language is. The only thing you ain't doing is going, or you don't even take pictures that would it be even be appealing. You're out of touch. You're sitting up there reciting quotes from movies that's been long gone back in the 60s and the 70s. Do you have cable? He has no talent. And he gonna tell her last week, "Let's just move. Let's just make it do what it do. Go to Hollywood. I left all of mine." You didn't probably have anything. You probably was doing things out there at tourist sites, hoping that you found a Debby. And so you finally found one. But let me tell you, Debby ain't stupid. She just, in my opinion, dumb. She ain't stupid, but she dumb. Because she should have picked up on this from A1 day one, had her little rendezvous with him, did what she did, let him show her around the city, and then go back on the plane and go back to status quo, life as usual, and find you a man here in America. He sat there and said, when you threw that phone, if you had did some like that in my country, female and fiance, friend, woman, whatever, I would have been out. Well, be out now. Be out now. Don't switch up because you in America. Be out now. Do what you gotta do. Debby realizes, y'all, just like we do, that this is a gig for him. This is a way for him to get to Hollywood. When he sat there and talked about everything he sacrificed, I'm like, you look at what Debby sacrificed. Look at the sacrifice that Debby has gone through. And I'm going to tell you right now, you know when you don't, I don't know, let me not even say that because I don't want to offend nobody, because when I be coming out straight off the hip, some people can't take me coming off the hip. But I'm telling you, this woman knows what this is. She know what this is. She playing games with herself and with him. I think she's just trying to see how far he gonna let it go. I think that she really trying to see where his head is. But honey, she already know, and we already know. We all know this man is using her. Debby, you're not a ugly woman. And the thing about it is, he's not even attractive. His face looks sideways, like he's not even attractive. He's like his bitch. You got caught up in a fantasy. This man ain't even giving you none at night. He doing towers of pillows between y'all. You mean to tell me I ain't even getting none? I can't even sample the product, and you want me to? No. And it look like next week it's about to kick off. But let's see what she do. Let's see how long, right, she gets convinced to keep him here. Because if I was her daughter and I was sleeping in the next, you know what? Anyway, y'all, that is my review for 90 Day Fiancé Season 12, Episode 5, Something Old, Something New. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this because this thing has just begun. We in Episode 5 and it's starting to get live already and I'm loving it. Y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the comments section. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. And thank you, y'all, for coming back and hyping the videos. I love y'all. Bye.